All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something that feels like it was ripped straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's Google DeepMind's new AI, Genie 3. And look, this isn't just some small update. We're talking about a technology that could totally change the game for interactive entertainment, for simulations, for everything really. So, let's just get right into it.
Okay, so you have to really listen to this quote from the DeepMind team, because it is the absolute key to understanding Genie 3. They're telling us flat out that what you're seeing, it's not a game, it's not a video. These are worlds. We're talking about something totally different here, something that almost feels alive.
So what even is this thing at its core? Well, it's called a world model, and the concept, honestly, is kinda mind-blowing in its simplicity. You just give the AI a single text prompt, a description, a scene, a vibe, and it doesn't just spit out a flat picture. No, it builds an entire, explorable, interactive world right from your words.
Okay, Section 1. Not games, but worlds. This is the big idea we really need to wrap our heads around. So the truly revolutionary part here is just how simple it is. You don't need to know how to code, you don't have to be some 3D artist. If you can write a sentence like a retro-futuristic city with flying cars or, I don't know, a quiet, moss-covered forest path, that's it. That's all you need to actually create that space and then, just step right inside and explore it. All right, Section 2. How Genie 3 works. So, how in the world does it actually pull this off? Well, it really boils down to 3 core features that all work together.
And here they are, the 3 pillars of Genie 3. First, you've got real-time interactivity. Second, something called world memory. And third, promptable events. Each one of these is a super important piece of the puzzle, so let's break them down, starting with the first one.
Okay, first up, real-time interactivity. What this means is that as you move, the world is literally being generated frame by frame right there in front of you. The AI is constantly thinking ahead, building the environment based on what you do, and it's all happening live.
And here's where you can really see the difference. A traditional video game, right, it's like walking through this super elaborate movie set that's already been built. Genie 3, it's much more like lucid dreaming. The world just materializes and reacts around you, which means every single time you explore, it's gonna be completely unique.
But, a world that's just constantly being created out of thin air isn't quite enough. It also needs to have some permanence. That brings us to the second pillar, world memory. This is the feature that makes sure the environment doesn't just reset itself every time you look away. It remembers. This all really comes down to persistence. So imagine this. You're in one of these worlds, and you, say, paint something on a wall. With world memory, you can walk away, go explore a totally different part of the world, and when you come back, guess what? That paint is still right there where you left it. Your actions actually have a lasting impact. And now for the final pillar, promptable events. This is where you go from being an explorer to being a co-creator. While you are already inside this world that's been generated, you can just type in new text prompts to add new things or make stuff happen. You basically become the director of your own personal simulation.
And the possibilities here are just wild. You could be wandering through some landscape it made, and you decide, you know what, I'm a little lonely, so you just prompt another person appears. Or maybe you need a ride, so you type a motorcycle arrives. You can even get crazy and prompt something like a UFO suddenly lands. You are in complete control.
Okay, Section 3, building future worlds. So we've seen how it works, but the bigger question is, why does this matter? What's the point? So yeah, next-gen gaming and entertainment, that's the obvious first stop for sure. But the applications here goes so much further. We're talking about massive leaps forward in things like research and robotics, not to mention creating these incredible new tools for safety and training simulations. I mean, just think about it for a second. You could train robots in millions of different simulated worlds before one ever touches the real world. You could run countless disaster drills for situations that are way too dangerous or expensive to do for real. You could simulate new ways of farming or new manufacturing lines. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on.
But ultimately, what this is all really pointing to is this fundamental shift, a democratization of creation.
For decades, if you wanted to build a digital world, you needed a whole team of developers, of artists, of engineers. With something like Genie 3, that power starts to shift, away from the developer and over to anyone with an idea. It shifts to the dreamer.
So I'm just going to leave you with this thought. For basically all of human history, this has been a purely hypothetical question, right? Something out of a book. But with technology like Genie 3, it is suddenly becoming very, very real. So, if you could create any world at all, with just a single sentence, what would you build?